So I am excited. Natalie is here from Lofty Pops, and we have like a whole array of treats today because Lofty Pops are something that you and your brother started, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hi, Natalie. So thank you so much for being here. So, okay, what is the history of Lofty Pop?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Brooke. I'm so happy to be here. So Lofty Pops, my brother and I started in 2024, and we launched in the Detroit Zoo in partnership with the SSA Group. And now we are in our third full year. I'm sorry, 2024, What year is it? 2026.
It is.
So we are third full year. The season just kicked off on Friday.
Awesome.
And we're so excited to be back and open. It was a very long winter.
Yes.
And so we are
I'm not
ready.
sure it's over yet, right?
I know.
My fingers are crossed.
I know. Mother Nature, come on.
That sauce again.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, are we done?
Shovels
yet?
are gone, snowblowers set away.
Exactly. Because it's time for popsicles, man.
It is. I got my short sleeves on. I'm ready for it.
Exactly. So, okay, so the good thing about these are there is so much not in them, right? Because they're all natural, no artificial coloring.
Correct.
So tell me about these.
Yeah,
because these are really interesting.
We actually just got USDA organic certified. So they are all organic certified. We use only organic fruits and ingredients and juices. We don't use any artificial colors or flavors in any of them. All the colors are from just the fruits.
Really?
And then they are dairy-free and gluten-free.
I love that because I have to go to a special ice cream store. And so this is awesome that these are dairy-free.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I haven't tried one of these in all transparency, but sometimes you can tell the difference. And from everything I've researched on you and the Lofty Pops, everyone loves them.
Yeah, no, we actually even have a chocolate fudge pop that we don't use any dairy in either.
Okay.
And people don't miss it.
Really?
Yeah, and they're all allergen-friendly too.
And that's so important these days.
We only have coconut in just a couple of the flavors. The orange dreamsicle has coconut, but other than that, no other nuts in there.
Okay, so orange dreamsicle, pina colada.
Correct.
Might I dip that in some vodka?
Yes, a little bit of rum. We also have a ginger lime flavor that we always tell people. There's a restaurant near our kiosk at the Detroit Zoo, and we're like, they have vodka over there.
Just dip it in.
Yes, the ginger lime was inspired by the Moscow Mule.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Yeah, we have a blue raspberry.
Raspberry, okay, awesome. And then so strawberry lemon, that one sounds super good.
That is the most popular flavor.
What flavor did you come out with first?
Strawberry lemon.
Okay.
So that was our first flavor that we came out with first, and it was our most popular flavor too. And then the pina colada was the second flavor.
Okay.
And then we just kept building up.
I did see banana.
Banana pudding.
Yes. When is that one? That one's out, right?
Yes, it is out.
Okay. Where can I find that?
That one you can find at the Detroit Zoo.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So yeah, it all depends on different locations of where they are and what they stock them. The Detroit Zoo does have most of the flavors, as that's the one that we actually service ourselves.
Oh, okay. So you actually go in and fill everything.
Yeah, we go and film that has the most variety of flavors there. But then, yeah, you can also find them at grocery stores in the area as well too. And then those flavors vary depending on the location as well.
So who came up with the recipe for these?
We have chefs on staff.
Really?
So yeah, we have, so actually
Popsicle chef?
A popsicle chef.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so if you actually like back up 8 years, my brother Philip is the one who like came up with all of this. 8 years ago, he started a company called Maryland's out of the Royal Oak Farmers Market, and it's also a food truck too that does events in Metro Detroit. And it is a organic smoothies and superfruit bowls company. So all the same, organic fruits and vegetables and all organic ingredients. It's all made to order. And so then a few years ago in 2023, he came up with the idea. He's like, I already have my commercial kitchen. I've got the chefs on staff. I've got all the organic ingredients, and people love these smoothies. Why not take these smoothies and put them on a stick?
That's awesome.
And freeze them.
Wow.
And we had this great partnership with the SSA Group at Detroit Zoo. And so he, gave the idea up to our contact there. And she was like, I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So he was like, all right. So he went to work.
Wow.
And then a couple months after that, he came up to me with the idea, and he's like, hey, I'd really love for you to join me on this venture. And at the time for me, it was such a great idea because I had just had twins myself.
Yes, I know, right? That is, so yours are girls, right? Identical girls, 6 years old?
Yes,
Okay.
they're turning 6 in May.
Okay.
My own little Twinkie.
Yes, your own Twinkie, see?
And so at that time, I started being really careful about what I was feeding my kids too. So, I didn't want my kids eating a lot of artificial flavors or colors. And, I didn't want them eating a lot of non-organic ingredients. And at that time, they were also starting to really get into sweet treats.
Right.
Too. And so I was like, well, Philip, I love this idea. And I know exactly who can taste test all of them for us.
They're like, here, try it.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. So how is it working with your brother?
It's great.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, my brother and I were like this.
That's cool.
All of our lives. We are a family of 4 kids, and so Philip and I are the bottom 2. And so my parents always divided and conquered. The older 2 were paired up, and Philip and I were paired up. And being the older sister, he kind of had to listen to everything I told him to do. So it was a great relationship. But no, it's great. My brother and I are very close and we get along so well. We're such a yin and yang.
That's cool.
In areas where he has strengths are my weaknesses, and areas where I have strengths are his weaknesses.
Right.
And
So you complement each other.
we really complement, and we really just communicate so well together. And I think that's the part that really helps our relationship a lot too, because you have family dynamic.
Yeah.
And then you also have just like you're running a business,
Right.
and
I can imagine that there are some stressful times though, right?
yes, there's absolutely some stressful times.
You like pass the gravy, leave the lofty pop at home.
We talk a lot about how like the first year working together was our like calibration year
Okay.
of it, of like working together. But again, it was just, we communicate.
That's cool.
We communicate things. We joke a lot. We're more married to each other
Right.
than we are to our own spouses,
Right. It's like you're always having to deal with, talk about something, I'm
Yeah,
sure, right?
conflicts and resolutions and how we're going to do things and whose decision we go with. And
Do you do paper, rock, scissors?
yeah, right? No. Usually we go with his.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you come up with the new flavors? Do you guys the chefs come up with that, or do you kind of take a poll? How do you do that?
That's a great question. So it's a combination of that. Some of it comes from our chef's ideas. We give them free reign in the commercial kitchen that we have. We also come with suggestions from our customers.
Nice.
So this year we're launching with a couple new flavors. And so that was all because people would ask, oh, I'd love this flavor, or, oh, do you have this flavor? And we're like, not yet. Yeah, the answer was not yet. And it's funny you say that, because when we first launched, we had some very adult flavors.
Oh, like the pina colada?
Like the pina colada, ginger lime. We say the pina coladas for the moms, ginger limes for the dads, and everything else is for the kids. But we had a lot of flavors that had a lot of depth. I mean, we took our smoothies from Maryland's that are not your basic strawberry banana smoothie,
Not like the ones I make every morning, right?
Yeah, no, these are like they're chef crafted flavors. And so we launched with these very like adult chef crafted flavors. And then we found that a lot of the people that were coming were families, obviously at the Detroit Zoo. And a lot of the kids wanted like the strawberry lemon, we're leaning more towards.
And that was your first flavor?
And that was our first flavor, yeah. But we launched with 7 flavors at the zoo. So with ginger lime pina colada, we have a blueberry cobbler, which is an amazing. But it was but a lot of the parents would be like, oh, I don't think you'd like this to the kids.
Interesting.
And direct them to more of like the simpler flavors.
Right.
And so that really opened our eyes, and we're like, we had this blue color flavor, which is the blueberry cobbler, but it wasn't selling a lot with the kids, mostly with the adults. And there's 2 adults and then there's 4 kids.
Right.
And so that's when we decided, we're like, we need a new blue flavor. And we thought, what flavor do kids love? I asked my kids, we vetted our customers, and that's when we came out with the blue raspberry.
Raspberry? Okay.
Yeah, which is like a apple lemon lime
Oh,
flavor. And that's now our second most popular flavor.
really? Oh, see, so you guys were right on when you figured it out.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, our chefs love it. They get to like play around in the kitchen. We have variations on variations. We love it because they test it all with us too. And so
How many flavors do you think will you ever stop creating new flavors?
we'll never stop creating new
Okay.
flavors. Yep, we will always continue evolving and adding to the flavors. And, we may take away some flavors, and then we may add some more
Or
flavors.
rotate, or do you
Yep.
rotate already?
We rotate already some flavors, and so that's the fun part of our job too.
Right.
Besides just like seeing all the customers, is also just like playing in the kitchen.
That's very cool. So you guys have you're at the Detroit Zoo, but you're in some other zoos now too, right?
Yes. So our first year was Detroit Zoo. And then we saw the popularity of it. And we were like, we need to take this to other zoos.
Yeah.
Why just save it for the Detroit Zoo? So we reached out to a few other zoos, and now we're in the Toledo Zoo too.
Awesome.
In our second year, we launched at the Toledo Zoo, and then also at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago too.
Really?
And then this year, we'll be launching in 2 more zoos in Wisconsin as well.
Okay, and then what about any stadiums, ballparks, anything?
We were in Comerica Park last year.
Okay.
And so that was a 1-year deal that we did Comerica Park.
Okay.
And so we will not be in them this year.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, what an accomplishment.
Yes, it was very exciting.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, so listen, this is technically my Women in Business segment. Okay, so these are cards with random questions. I need to go to Vegas, can you tell? So I want you to pick one, and then that would go with that one. Okay. Okay. So you ready?
Mhm.
Okay. So as a woman in business, what have you had to say no to in order to say yes to the life you have now?
Great question. That is something that I struggle with daily. Because as a woman in business, as also a mom in business,
There's a lot of mom guilt, right?
there is a lot of mom guilt, especially when you've got other friends who do stay home with their kids. And when I started, actually, it's funny you asked me what did I have to say no to. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again? Let me.
Yep. Hold on. I can just put it back. So let's see. Did I lose it? What happened to it? Oh, wait. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. As a woman in business, what have you had to say no to in order to say yes to the life you have now?
Yeah, so it's funny you said that. So I actually said no to my brother first.
Really?
Yes. I actually said no to my brother first because I prioritized motherhood.
Okay.
I had to, with the job I had before, there was a little bit more security, and as a young mom with twins, I had to make sure that I was in a secure job. Going into entrepreneurship,
It's scary.
it is. It's very scary. It's very risky. And so it took me, so he asked me to join on, and I said, I can't leave my full-time job. I can help you on the side.
Okay. So like a side hustle.
Exactly, my side hustle. And then I was doing both. I was working a full-time job, 9 to 5, and then 5 to 9, I was helping him and on the weekends. And then I did that for about 9 months till when my 9 to 5 job caught on. I was
Check it out or you're
I just wasn't able to, it's just hard, I was working 2 full-time jobs and being a mom and trying to be a friend and trying to be a spouse, and a daughter and a sister. And so then finally I had to say no to my full-time job, and I dove all into this.
Really? So when was that?
That was in January of 2025.
Okay.
So now I've been full-time doing this for about 1 year and 4 months.
Any regrets?
No, not a single regret. It has been so exciting and fulfilling to do this, and I'm fulfilled daily.
That's awesome.
In it. I'm fulfilled every time I work a service shift and get to see the little kids run up to the kiosk. I'm fulfilled when I get to have moments with my employees who've watched them, secured a great recipe or have accomplished something. I'm fulfilled when I secure another account.
Yeah.
I'm fulfilled that I get to work with my best friend, my brother,
Yeah.
And so it's just, those are things that you don't always get everywhere else, especially working in corporate.
Right.
Which is what I left to do this.
Okay. Yeah, it is a very scary thing. It's on a daily basis. You're like, what am I doing? What is happening?
I know. Did I make the right choice?
Yes, exactly.
And always it is, yes.
That is awesome. Okay, so I ask you to bring your favorite cup, and the story is very funny because it does have to do with your twins, but it has to do with your first baby. So tell me about your cup.
This is Milo. Well, not really Milo.
Milo's been...
Yes, but Milo was my first baby.
Okay.
And I got Milo when my husband and I were just dating. And he got this my husband actually got this for my 30th birthday, not to age me. And then, I had the kids. And as many people know, once you have kids, you know, your fur babies kind of get pushed to the wayside.
Like, oh, did you need to be fed today? I'm sorry.
I know, you know, or this poor little litter box, or, you know, I go, just the love, you know, I'd be such a snuggly
Like,
cat
I love
too.
you.
And so you asked me to bring in my favorite cup, and I knew we would be talking a lot about the business, and, you know, my twins are such a big part of the business and my inspiration into why I do this. And so I thought, you know, I wanted him to be here too, and he's so left out so much, so
So that's Milo.
this is Mayo. Little representation of Mayo, you know.
And the cup she loves. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so are you hiring for summer shifts at the zoo? Because you take care of your kiosk, right?
Yes,
You're
we
in
do.
charge
We
of that?
self-service that, and we
Okay.
are hiring for the zoo
What's the age have to be on?
at 18.
Oh, it does?
Minimum.
Okay. Okay, so 18, and then if anyone, I mean, I can imagine that would be kind of fun to work there.
Oh my God, it's such a blast. Yeah.
So how long are the shifts, or does it just depend?
It varies. Usually they're from like 10 to 4
Okay.
is the zoo hour shifts, you know, so like 9:30 to 4:30 by the time you open up and close up. And it's for the summer.
Okay.
So we're,
Seasonal, we love that, right?
yep. And it is weekdays and weekends. And we're very inclusive. We hire everyone and anyone, you know, as long as they are friendly, love ice pops,
Like, right?
love the zoo, and love talking to people.
Love interacting, right? Because that will
Yes.
be, especially with kids.
Yes, it is such a fun part of the job of kids, and yeah, and you get to be at the zoo and you get to be outside.
Right? We were just there Saturday. It was so much fun.
I know, it's so
It
beautiful.
was great. Yeah. The twins were like, okay, so can we go once a week? And I thought, well, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Because we're members. So just walk around and see the animals.
And they just opened up, they're opening up that new section of the zoo too, which is gonna be
that
so
looks
fun
amazing,
for the kids.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So see, lots of fun in store for us.
Yeah.
How will people apply to that?
You can go to our website
Okay.
at www.loftypops.com.
Okay.
And there is on the header, there's a place that says open positions. You can just fill out a form in there, and it will go to our contact, and we'll reach out to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. One more question. What is your favorite flavor? Your personally?
Ooh, my favorite flavor would have to be the orange dreamsicle.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of our newer flavors, but I have always been an orange
Have you?
creamsicle fan. And so we modified it a little bit and call it the orange dreamsicle.
Awesome. All right. Well, I can't wait to try one of those. And here is your parting gift, but I feel like I need to give you
Thank
two because of the.
I know, that's the thing with twins too. You always
You're
need two
always
of
like,
their.
oh gosh, okay, well, if I do this, then you can have that. When they get older, it's very funny because then they change, right? So, and mine are boy or girl. So, but it is, you have to be equal.
Yeah,
And it's tough.
it's really hard.
It's hard. So there's two.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you so much, Brooke, for
Okay,
having
thank
me.
you.
I
It was
really
a pleasure. And I
appreciate
can't wait to see you around the zoo. It's going to be so much fun.
it. Thank you so much.
And thank you for sharing the story of Milo.
Thank you. Yeah, and if anyone also wants to keep up on what we're doing, they can follow us on Instagram at Eat Lofty Pops. And we share all of the exciting places we're expanding to on there.
Awesome.
And all of just like some great behind the scenes
That's
footage too. So let people see how everything is all handcrafted. We use all small batch.
And and that's important. That's an important thing to see. Because, I mean, when you're seeing this and it's something that's so kid oriented, really, you're like, okay, well, I'm seeing how that's made. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of transparency.
Right.
We believe in a lot of transparency. We had nothing to hide. And so it's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to
you.
meet you.